Welcome to another edition of Pittsburgh Sportsline at Atria's PNC Park, 103 Federal Street. Can't miss it. It's right at the stadium. You know PNC Park. Thanks for watching our show on Comcast 7, only in Bethel Park. Verizon 32, we're in the city of Pittsburgh, all the way from Nemacolin to Cranberry-Wexford. Thanks for watching us there. On Facebook, we got a brand new high with likes. 6,313 likes, so thank you very much. Appreciate that in a little less than 3.5 years doing that, so thanks for watching our videos and our TV shows. I thank Bethel Park for letting us venture out into the community and doing our show. We got guests coming up. I'm Al Levine, the Talking Machine. I got Smokin' Jim Frazier with me. And we start our show off each week with What's on Your Mind. And we have a sponsor of our opening segment, What's on Your Mind, Skeets Lewandowski, who owns Skeets Service Station. He just happens to be here. We're not going to bring him up yet. We'll bring him up a little later. He does boxing. He wears all the hats in a boxing ring and outside the ring, and he coaches, and we'll talk to him shortly. And we're going to start the show with What's on Your Mind, and we're going to do that right now. Smokin' Jim Frazier, what's on your mind?
Thanks, Al Levine, the Talking Machine. And if you want the green, you got to see Levine.
Cool,
Thanks everybody for coming out. If you haven't done so already, do yourself a favor, grab a menu, because the only burger I like better than a Roethlisberger is the Talking Machine Big Mouth Burger. Help me out a little bit. Who was the Pittsburgh Pirate that hit the game-winning home run yesterday? Adam Frazier, my favorite player. Hey, listen, I know everybody in here, nobody in here smokes weed. But if you happen to know somebody that sells marijuana, please give them a call and tell them to quit selling the Le'Veon Bell. I hope Donald Trump builds a wall to keep all drug dealers away from the Pittsburgh Steelers. You know, the NFL is all about cries, lies, and alibis. Le'Veon Bell, stay off of Twitter, because we all know you smoke weed. If you want to do anything, get on Twitter and say you smoke blunts, but you never inhale. You know, you got 15 million reasons to get help for your drug addiction. The NFL stands for not for long when you smoke dope. My advice to you, Le'Veon Bell, is a little more black and proud and a little less black and mild.
Thanks, Smokin' Jim. Boy, that's who I wanted to talk about, Smokin' Jim. Because I can't believe he was tweeting he should get 15 million because he was watching the NBA stars. They only have about a dozen players on their team. So, got a lot more on the football team. His eye's not on the ball, that's for sure. He might have healed up and he might be healthy, but you can't be missing those drug tests. That doesn't even make sense. That's what's on my mind. He opened it up, I closed it. So we got our guests coming up. We're going to bring them up right now. Tell them your name.
Rick Staggerwell.
And are you the boxing commissioner?
I don't know, am I? That's smoking. Yes, I'm the boxing commissioner of Pennsylvania.
All right, we're honored to have you here.
Thank you.
A lot of stuff's been going on. I heard you're even out of the country.
Yes, I was down in Cuba a month ago.
And aren't they fighting on the Clemente Bridge on the 30th here?
Yes, they are. That'll be right here, right outside here. Shutting down the bridge and putting up a ring. And we're going to have, I think, 11 fights. The Cubans brought 11 boxers over here just in case somebody got sick or didn't work out, you know.
So we'll be fighting them all.
Yep.
Sounds good. Heard you went on a trip.
Yeah, we were down there. It was challenging to be in a third world country like that. Water was an issue for our guys. Their guys, we've trained with their national team down there, And these guys are used to training 2 hours nonstop, no water.
Wow.
No water.
Wow.
They weren't even looking for it.
Wow.
And our guys were dying after the first hour. And
Well, don't they get water all the time?
yeah, up here, you know, it's a little different. See, you got to remember, too, part of it was that, you know, that was when our weather was going from 90 degrees to 50 degrees and back. We weren't acclimated like we are now, you know, to this hotter weather. And so they weren't used to that. And
Great
it was,
point.
And it was hot down there and humid, you know.
Yeah. Well, they survived.
Yeah, they made it. They made it. They did good.
How was the boxing down there?
I'll tell you what, that's why they have 37 gold medals down there, you know. We have the most medals, 127, I think, but they're not all gold, you know.
Okay.
They have the most gold medals. They have 37.
Wow. That's amazing. Let's
Yeah.
get a photo, Frank. Thank you. Now, what got you involved in this? The Cuba and United States or Pittsburgh boxing? How'd you get involved in this?
Well, I was kind of involved at the tail end of the Donnybrook with the Irish team.
Okay.
And I had just, you know, come into office, and I was just appointed by the governor. And I was looking at, you know, to see how I can improve. And I was going around to all the fights and all, because I was kind of out of the amateurs, you know, refereeing
Sure.
35 world championship fights.
Is that how many it was?
Yeah, I had 35 world championship fights, you know.
Well, then I got to ask, how much do you miss it?
I miss it a lot, you know what I mean? But, you know, I was looking at, when I was offered the job, I was looking at, like, how boxing was a mess here.
Yeah.
And I was looking at, like, how can I help this out? From this position, can I help it out? So I thought I could, and what I did was I kept going to all the fights and getting to know who the trainers were, who the kids were, you know,
Sure.
and that's why I did that trip down there when I was offered to go. One of the reasons I went was so I could see what was going on, to make sure these kids were safe.
Sure.
And they were safe down there. And also one of the perks was that Ray Boom Boom Mancini went with us, lightweight champ of the world.
I heard you're good friends now.
We turned out, we fit like a glove.
I heard you were sleeping in the same place.
Nah, well, we were upstairs with each other. We weren't in the same place.
Well, I didn't check that far into it.
Yeah, I know. You never do.
Wow.
You don't go that deep into it. Sounds better.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
I don't want to know what happened.
But we ended up, you know, one of the good things was that we ended up down there. The host family we were staying with, Ray can speak Spanish. He was married to a Cuban girl for 17 years. So he actually ended up being my interpreter. The interpreters
That's
they gave
amazing.
us, the interpreters they gave us down there, they were going CCC, but they weren't getting it, especially with the water situation.
Right.
And so it's like not a big deal to them down there. Okay, take it easy, you know. And
They're
it could
more
be
laid back.
It could be 8 hours later.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like you're dead.
Right. We need it now.
You're dehydrated and dead, and they're like, "Hey, we got your water," you know. So
Thanks a lot.
but with Ray, we were in his host house. And we were having breakfast one morning, all fresh fruit. I mean, it really turned out good. But one of the things that happened was he had mentioned to the guy in Spanish, the guy that owned the house, about Cahibas. And the guy
What
said,
is it?
Cahiba, the cigars,
Okay.
not the weed, Cahiba, the cigars.
Glad you clarified that with
Right.
Smoking Jim.
I know, he's even on a little tangent, but I don't blame him, dude. If you're in that position, you know, you know you're in that position, and you're exactly right. You got it. These kids are looking up to you,
It's simple.
and if they think it's simple, and if they think that you're partying, well, why not me? Look, he's a professional athlete.
Yeah.
But that's another time. But you're right. You know exactly right. I'm with you on it. But anyhow, he talked to the guy about it, and the guy said, Cahibas. 15 minutes later, there was a knock at the back door. Guy comes walking in, 4 boxes of Cahibas.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah. And I'm going to tell you what, I don't smoke, but I don't inhale. But we smoked them Cahibas one night, Ray and I. We came home 11 o'clock at night. We sat out in the courtyard.
Wow.
And we smoked one. I smoked anything smoother than that.
Wow.
You know, really.
Even after inhaling.
Even after inhaling.
Wow, what a story. I didn't know we'd go there.
Yeah.
We went deeper than I thought.
I got more stories than you can shake a stick at. You know that.
Oh, I know that.
I had almost as many as you.
You're good. You might be ahead
And
of
only
me.
half of smoking's.
Wow.
You know,
That's it.
I mean, you guys have really come along a long way. You know, with your show here and the people that you've touched with it over the years, and especially boxing and MMA. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, we wouldn't be out there if it wasn't for guys like you that were interested in it.
Thank you. We try to promote it. We don't see it a lot on the local TV station, so we try to take care of that.
Well, when I said about how many fights I've been going to, which was before, I never went to any MMAs. In the beginning, I took some courses in it when it was first starting up here, and I told the director I'd like to do it, you know, and try it out.
Sure.
But I didn't have a wrestling background.
Okay.
And in the beginning, they were worried about it, and they wanted people with wrestling backgrounds, you know? Like, I didn't know what arm bars were. I didn't know...
Rear naked choke.
Didn't know any of that stuff. But I did take a course in Washington, D.C. We had the Association of Boxing Commissioners had a course there. And I took the course, and I was with Yamaguchi, that Mario and his brother put the course on. And you know, we watched film in the morning. We come back after lunch, they had mats down. We did everything physical with them.
Get out.
And guess who I ended up with fighting against was Mario and his brother.
Wow.
And I'd never been in a real naked chokehold, and I'm going to tell you what, I tapped like that. That's how quick he put it on. I went like that. That's how quickly that hurts.
Well, that's dangerous.
Yep. Look at Holmes did. She held on. She knew she was going to go out, and she didn't tap.
Yeah.
She went out.
That's amazing.
Who does that?
She did it.
Dedicated people
Yeah.
to their
They're
sport.
into it.
You know.
No, it was nice to see you at the MMA fight Saturday night.
Yeah. They were good fights. I was sorry that fight got canceled on
With Healy.
With Healy. You know, he's a nice fighter and he's a good guy.
He's one of the hardest trainers. You know, he works out before he goes to work as a nuclear engineer.
Is that what he is? Yeah.
And then he comes home and trains again.
Yeah. You know, along them same lines, these kids down there, and I've been to all the gyms with their training session, this group, we try to keep them together in the beginning. But what's different from Cuba is it's their job in Cuba. And they like their job. So they get up in the morning, they train, they go run. Then they go to school, then they come home and train, then they go back to school, then they come home and train again.
Wow.
And then they grow their own food. The agriculture there, they grow their own food. Yeah, believe me, their training center where they lived at, and the range was nice, but no air conditioning, nothing we're used to here, you know. But they train right there. 2 rings set up, pretty primitive. The weights were all primitive, you know, because I went in the back room and checked everything out.
Oh, I'm sure.
But it's their job. Now here, these kids got responsibilities, you know. Yeah. There's a lot of poor kids, so they got to help their mom out, or their dad, or their aunt, you know, or who's ever taking care of them, and they try to bring a little bit of money into the house. So some of these guys were getting mad at the kids for not being able to make the Saturdays everybody train together. And I was like, you can't get mad at these kids.
Right.
They're hustling.
Yeah.
And doing boxing. You know, so that kind of.
Put it in perspective.
It put it in perspective and eased off them, you know. And if that's part of my job, to remind these older guys, you know, and believe me, I have a lot of respect for the guys that spend 4 and 5 nights a week, because my trainer did that for 45 years.
Wow.
Nobody paid them guys.
Right.
And most of the time you take these kids to tournaments, like Skeets and them guys, they're paying out of their own pocket.
Yeah.
They're kicking up out of their own pocket. Yep.
Great point.
And they don't go to nobody. And we're hoping that with Mike Diven running this show here, that when this is all said and done, and there's been a lot of money thrown at this, you know, a lot of people are jumping on board because this is an historic event.
Sure.
It's the first time they've come to the United States like this, and it's Pittsburgh.
Right.
So there's a lot of money being thrown around, and there's probably at one point there's going to be a lot of money made. It'd be nice that if they gave it to the AMA, so that a portion of it, so that when Teddy and Mook and Skeets and guys like that and Brownie take these kids around to the national tournaments, it's usually out of their pocket.
Sure. They get reimbursed then.
Not
now.
You know, it's kind of funny.
We're saying down the road.
It's kind of, we're hoping. But them guys, you know, they're taking them kids no matter what. But it'd be nice, and that's what the AMA is, Allegheny Mountain Association. That's what that's supposed to be for. And somehow, not all the time it's working like that, and they're paying out of their own pockets.
Yeah.
And it's not right. So maybe, just maybe, we're going to say a little prayer that when all is said and done here, that a little bit of that money ends up at the AMA so these guys can go away.
That'd be nice. That seems like it's a good goal.
Yeah, it's on the wish list.
I'm not going to ask where
that's like asking Bell not to smoke any more weed, I think.
Enough of this bell. We already know. We already got
He
Bill.
just has to come back up. You know what I mean?
Why do we suspended 4 games?
I know, man. Like he said, you know. But, you know, I think boxing is real. We had the most fights we've ever had. Now, I've been involved here since I was 10.
Yeah.
That's when I started going to gym. And this is a great time for boxing here.
Oh, there's boxing every weekend.
Yep, every weekend between that and the MMA. And the most important thing is to keep them protected.
Sure.
And one of the things that I have implemented that you've asked me a few
I
times
know.
about.
What is going on with the concussion protocol?
Right now, where it's at right now, I have a guy from the Cleveland Clinic that helps me out. We tested all the Golden Glove boxers here in Pittsburgh. I had offered it to Philadelphia Golden Gloves, you know, to the other commissioners, and in Harrisburg, and they didn't take me up on it, you know, but maybe they will later on. But eventually here, it's a C3 testing what every high school kid that plays football has to have. And, you know, when you play football, like, you got a helmet on, and you might get hit in the head.
Yeah.
In boxing, you are getting hit in the head.
Yeah.
That's what they're aiming
Great
for.
point.
That's what they're aiming for. So I thought when I got in here, you know, what can I do to protect these kids?
Sure.
I contacted 3 different companies, and I ended up with the Cleveland Clinic people. Allegheny General was a little bit involved with it. It's a C3 logic testing.
Okay.
And they give it to all these kids, North Hills High School, North Allegheny, and they get that. So anyhow, we got the Irish team tested just a couple months ago in March, and now hopefully if everything works out right, we'll get the Cuban team tested along with any other fighter here in Pittsburgh that hasn't been tested yet. That way, if somebody gets hurt, like our older fighters, like Paul Spadafore, they never had the baseline testing.
Right.
So they don't actually know where their brain waves were. So how can they tell? Well, right now there's a study going on at the Cleveland Clinic so that they can tell. When you do it as a group, which Muhammad Ali, Sugar Ray, Tommy Hearns,
Boom Boom.
Boom Boom Mancini. There's a satellite place out that opened 2 years ago in Vegas, and they took 10 of the top guys, and they were the first ones to get tested out there.
Really?
So now, but we haven't. Here's the funny thing. I asked Ray. I said, "That's so great that you guys did that, you know, but what we need is for somebody to donate their brain, just like the NFL."
Yeah.
And he goes, "I ain't doing it." He goes, I'm not
we
getting
can be
all
hopeful there.
I'm not getting all cut up. He was like, you know, I want to be in one piece and all this other stuff. But the only way we're going to find out, you know, with that CTE, is if we get somebody, you know, like they had talked about OJ. You know, did you see some of his brain? You know, you think that he didn't have? You see some of the hits that he took in that show? Yeah. You think there ain't some black in there? I mean, not literally,
there
but
could be some problems
in the brain. Yes. You know, that he went off the deep end. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You don't know.
Don't even look
this
at
is a bunch of.
Jim.
This is a night of puns. Huh? But anyhow, the long story short of that is that you know, somewhere along the line we got to protect these kids.
Yeah.
You know?
And you have a baseline now for everybody. That's the key.
If any kid gets hurt during the fight, I'll be able to send him right up to Allegheny General. Well, if the fight's here on the bridge, I'll have a guy here contest him right there.
Yeah.
It takes 10 minutes for each kid, but I can send him right up to Allegheny General, the satellite there on Federal Street.
Yeah.
And get him tested right there to see if. Sometimes it takes it could take 2 hours or it could take 7 days before it shows up.
Sure.
But they'll be able to tell by this test, especially the balance test, if this kid, if it looks like he might be concussed.
Affected, yeah.
Concussed.
No, that's great.
Yeah.
That's good stuff you're doing.
Well,
I see you everywhere there, and I know you're behind the scenes doing a lot of good stuff.
We're trying, you know what I mean? I want to make this the best boxing in the United States here in Pittsburgh. I want people to come here and fight. You know, in fact, I'm looking at a place now, and hopefully this works out. But we need like an in and around place for boxing. Console's too big. The Peterson's too big.
Yeah.
They don't sell out that much, you know what I mean?
Right. You need an in-between.
An in-between. And I'm looking at right now, and this is a secret, but I'm looking at the
Hold it, we're on TV.
The Mario Lemieux Center out there, because we did it down in South Point, and you guys were there.
Yeah.
They put the rubber down. It's in the round. If I can talk to you, I think Tim, I think his name is Tim Farr, Matt Farr,
okay,
who used to play in the NHL. Yeah. He's now the director of operations out there, and if he could please call me back, we might be able to have a meeting and sit down and discuss this, you know, about getting a place like that.
That'd be good.
Yeah,
definitely. Keep Smoking Jim out of it.
If he sees this,
yeah.
You know, He didn't call me back yet, but I'm hoping.
Have Smoking Jim call him.
Yeah.
He'll get in there for
Well,
you.
usually he'll get you in the door. That's the truth.
Yeah, he knows the guys.
And I'll mention your name too, and we'll get free burgers after.
Ah, you want a bite?
No, I'm good.
You want a bite? I got all kind of stuff on
I'm
that.
good.
What else do you got?
I'm pretty good, other than my grandson.
What's
You
with the
know?
grandson?
Well, he turned 6 months the other day, and he's.
I see those nice pictures you're in there
He's,
with him.
who's he look like?
You.
Hello. Who's he built like?
You. Who's he talk like?
You.
We don't know yet.
You. He won't shut up.
You got that one in
You're
on
my
me.
man. But no, I'm thrilled. It changed. It's a game changer.
Yeah, that's
You know,
nice.
I mean, this kid, he looks at me and, you know what
That's
I mean?
it.
I'm just, that's it. He's
Yeah.
smiling, I'm smiling, you know, and so far he's pooped on me, peed on me, and he slobbers on me constantly and pulls my mustache, you know.
It looks a little longer on the one end.
So what's next, you know? I can't wait.
He'll keep growing. That's for sure.
Yeah, I'm real proud. His mother, my daughter, and I think you had known this.
Yeah.
That she's getting inducted into the North Allegheny Hall of Fame, Sports Hall of Fame, on September 27th.
Tell them
I
what
think it is.
sport.
Softball, fast pitch softball.
I might be there.
Yes. Yeah, she played fast pitch at North Allegheny. She set every record up there, batting, every percentage you can.
Yeah.
You know,
She did it.
She did it, and then she got a scholarship to Bowling Green, and she played up there. Her first year there, she had they made it to the MAC, and she had been playing sporadically, you know.
Sure.
And when she got off the bus, the coach called her over and said, "Hey, you've been busting your butt. You're going to start today." She ended up having we came out of the losers bracket. She ended up having the winning run and the winning catch to end the game 1-0 against Ohio to put us into the championship game.
That's awesome.
Yep, it was 1-0.
And congratulations to her.
Yeah, oh my God,
I'm sure you practiced a little bit with her.
a little bit.
I know how you are.
It's legendary in the North Hills.
Is it?
I'll tell you a quick little story and then I'll go.
All right.
So she was younger and she was a pitcher back then. She's a lefty.
Okay.
So they had her dragging and slapping and, you know, I taught her how to do all that stuff.
Yeah.
As fast as could be. So in her junior year up in North Allegheny, 25 out of 25 stolen bases. They never even came close to touching her.
Get on.
Then her
That's
senior year,
amazing.
when we go to the state championship again, they had her
caught
steal
her.
bases. No, they had her steal bases only 10 times that year. Yes. Anyhow, that's another story.
They didn't need her.
That's like Bell. It's another story. But anyhow, so you know, we go to the MAC championship. You know, and
Yeah.
we're in the losers bracket. We get
Right.
beat. We come out and we win it, and that was like, you know, first time in the history of the school that they had won the MAC in 100 years.
That's amazing.
And I was there and I saw it.
Wow.
I remember looking up saying, I never need to see another game the rest of my life.
That's it.
And sometimes I wished I wouldn't have. They brought a new coach in that the year after that. and
Changed it.
It changed it. Changed the complexion of
Unbelievable.
everything, you know? You don't want to mess with that, you know, but I'm very proud of her and, you know, her and her husband, and they have, you know, they have good jobs and a nice house, and they got this beautiful baby.
Nice. Well, I'm glad you could be on the show.
Thank you so much.
Take
Thank you so
care.
much. I appreciate it. Who's the talking machine now? My man.
You got me.
Thank
I got to shut.
I grew up in a sports family. From a very young age, I was exposed to sports in a great way. My uncle was on the first pro basketball team in Pittsburgh, the Pittsburgh Ironmen. My cousins played baseball in the Army. I got to see them pitch at Fort Knox in Louisville, Kentucky. And my dad, of course, that was my hero. He was a basketball referee for over 30 years. Met a lot of great people. Have any of you ever heard of George Couples? He was a man who used to call our house and schedule my dad for City League basketball games. Just been a passion in my life, and as I got older I found out about horses, and I ended up owning a stable. And I was asked to be on a sports show with Roger Houston called the Meadows Racing Network. Watching Roger Houston direct and even produce this show. And when we were done, I said, boy, that'd be something great. Maybe someday I could have a TV show. Back in 2011, I had a conversation with some friends about sports that piqued my interest in how could we start a sports talk show on TV? Well, I found out I could go to public access TV in Bethel Park and I'd be able to produce my own sports talk TV show. The great thing about doing two sports talk shows on BPTV is I can share my passion about sports with thousands of people every week. If you are passionate about something that you would like to share with the community, I encourage you to come to BPTV and produce a show like I do. I'm Al Levine, volunteer producer of Pittsburgh Sportsline on BPTV.
Welcome to the show, Jim. Great to have you here.
Thanks for having me. Good to see you.
Pleasure seeing you.
Yep, absolutely.
And what time of year is it?
I tell you what, it seems like it comes quicker every year. But it's Rev 'em Up for Kids, the mega car cruise that we do annually at the South Park County Fairgrounds.
Where's that sign at?
I have it right here. There it is.
You got that, Devin? All right. Set that back here. You know, I like a little props, things like that. How long has this been going on?
It's actually our 7th year, but the show itself has been going on for 9 years. The Bethel Park Community Foundation started it 9 years ago, and my group took it over in year 3.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
No, it's a great event at South Park. Just fantastic.
Yeah.
I've been there a couple times.
I know you have, and we appreciate you coming out and interviewing you as well. Yeah, absolutely. So.
Yeah, Smoking Jim enjoyed the cars. I like when I sat in that DeLorean a couple years ago. Got to sit in the car.
My understanding that you both like the food as well.
Oh, yeah. We can't go wrong. Food's great.
Absolutely.
Something about the Diamond sponsor is one of my favorites. Pasta 2.
Pasta 2. Cannot do it without Ray Piacadillo. Absolutely one of the most generous persons I've ever met.
Before this, speaking of Ray.
Sure.
You want to grab what
I will grab that. Kind of fresh off the press here, I have the Pasta 2 variety pack here. Ray launched his retail jars of his sauce about 8 months ago, and they're in some of the local grocery stores.
I've seen it.
Yeah, not naming all of them, but they're in a handful of local grocery stores. So this is something that I wanted to give to you guys. This is our trio pack with all 3 of them in it.
I took Smoking Jim Pasta 2 for his first time. He loved it.
That's great. So all 3 flavors are in there: the tomato, the vodka sauce, and the meat flavored with roasted pork.
Well, thank you.
Enjoy. And I also I come bearing gifts, I guess, today.
Yeah.
I also have the official. I'm wearing one, but this is the official Rev 'em Up for Kids T-shirt. So you have the second one.
This one will fit me.
I got to get you. Yours is on special order. It's coming in. No, I have one for you though.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it. Definitely. Now, what got you involved with this? I know with junior football in Bethel Park, you're a big guy doing that stuff.
Right.
How did you get involved with this? Because I know you do a lot of things in the community. And
I do, and classic cars have always been a hobby of mine. I enjoy going.
Really? I didn't know.
Yeah, I have a few, and I like to go to the various car cruises and car shows. And I was involved the first 2 years from a spectator's perspective when the Community Foundation had hosted it, and there was a few guys that were involved with that cruise, and they wanted to keep it going because the South Park County Fairgrounds is such a historical facility. It's unbelievable, and so my group kind of took it over in year 3 because we wanted to keep the cruise going, and we were looking for a cause. I was very involved with Bethel Park Junior Football at the time. I'm now president of the Bethel Park Rec Board. So my goal was always to expand the cruise on a larger level where it would benefit all of Bethel Park Recreation, not just one sport, not just one organization. It's expanded now. So this is the 3rd year where all the proceeds that we raise benefits all of recreation, not just one sport.
Oh, that's great.
Yep.
I'm glad to hear that. Well, congratulations
Well, thank you.
to you on that.
Thank you.
No, my son played in the junior football.
Yeah.
A lot of the kids in the area, great teams, great coaching.
Yep,
Your
absolutely.
coaches are unbelievable.
Yep, absolutely they are. Yep.
No, I appreciate it, and it does help feed our high school, system there.
It's feeder program for sure. Yep.
No, it's something to be proud of.
Yep.
And it's from what time?
So it's this Saturday, and it has approached us quicker than I think I probably wanted it to. But July 30th this Saturday from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. at the South Park County Fairgrounds. And our special musical guest
Yes.
might have been here sometime today.
He managed this place. He doesn't do it now, but he's a great manager.
Johnny Angel and the Halos will be our special musical guest. So
We filmed him last year. We got a great take on that. Great
absolutely,
concert.
yep, I remember that. Yep.
Yeah, very nice.
So
And what else do you got going on? You want to go through some of it? You got a litany of stuff.
well, I mean, the car cruise itself.
So the people know out there. That's
Yeah,
what
so
I want to get.
I don't want to leave with everyone thinking that it's just classic cars, because it's certainly more than that. We're actually calling it a mega car cruise and family fest now, because we do have a kids zone with a kids related area with bounce houses,
I know, I've
with
seen it, yeah.
video game simulators, face painting, balloon making. We're fortunate to have the pirate parrot and the pirate or penguin
Penguin's
iceberg. Yeah, we haven't had them together. I couldn't even say their names
It's
together.
hard to
Yeah,
pronounce that.
a lot of P's.
Yes.
So we have a whole area again designated just to the kids, and then within the cars itself, we're fortunate. We've had over 1,000 classic cars through during the course of the 6-hour period. So within the cars themselves, I think we might have a picture here we can kind of show.
I'll hold one end, you hold the other.
Sounds like a plan. So you can kind of get a scope of the whole grounds at the South Park County Fairgrounds. And again, this is where the county fair was years and years and years ago. I'm very proud to say that this event is now the largest, or one of the largest, in the park system within Allegheny County.
Really?
Yeah.
Congrats
so
on that,
yeah.
too.
So
That's
we're
a lot of hard work.
very
behind the scenes.
very happy in it. And again, it's just not me. It's just not my group. It's we have mentioned Pasta too, and again, it can't be done without Ray. But we have 39 silver sponsors that are on the back of that T-shirt, and 12 shout-out sponsors, and over 100 different volunteers, averaging
Got
from
great volunteers, by the way.
from 6 to 80 years old, you name it, we have it. And again, it's not a one-man show by any means. It can't be done with good people working. For sure.
I try to track you down, and they keep pointing what direction you went and where you were.
That's for
And
sure.
It doesn't stop. You don't stop there.
So within the show itself, you're going to walk and see a bunch of different vehicles, but then you're also going to have different merchandising vendors, and that's always one of our goals. We're trying to appease to everyone. So you might see a jewelry vendor, then a car wax person, then someone
I've
else.
seen
So it appeases.
Solicited me.
They have.
Yes. They've said something.
Right.
Definitely. And I've interviewed them and asked people questions. It's amazing, the products that you have out there.
Right. And it's really expanded again over the years. So we're, again, very fortunate to have Bethel Park behind it, from the municipality and staff to the Bethel Park Police to EMS to fire. It just really has turned
they're all
into
there.
everyone's there, and it's just almost an extension of Community Day.
That's a good point. It is.
And
We've expanded down to South Park.
we have. We're not quite in Bethel, but we're needed a large facility, I guess you could say.
A mile or so down the road.
Not too far.
2 miles, that's not too bad.
Not too far.
No, it's a great event. I wish you the best of luck with it. Can't wait to see it again. It's always great to be there.
Appreciate it, and we appreciate both your support.
Thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
Glad to have
Thank
you
you.
on for the first time.
First time.
Congrats.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
You're welcome,
Thank
Jim.
you.
All right, here's the sponsor of What's on Your Mind. Tell them your name.
Steve Lewandowski. They call me Skeets.
And Skeet Service Station.
Skeet Service Station. We fix anything on any car. And if it runs on gasoline, we'll fix it too.
Hey, I told a story last week about a tractor. You were bending pipes for it. You have, what's that machine?
Yeah, we got a pipe bender. We make custom exhaust, dual exhaust for trucks and cars, and for tractors. It was a John Deere needing a tailpipe muffler on it, and we made it for him. Yeah, that's what I do. I bend exhaust, inspections, emissions, brakes, rotors, you name it, we fix it.
All right, that's the end of that little sponsorship.
Okay, thanks. Then we have a buffet down here too. Did you tell them about the buffet?
No, I didn't tell him about the buffet.
Well, I'll tell you what, we had some cupcakes today. Best damn cupcakes in the burg. Casey Levine, I'll tell you what, those things, yes, definitely. Best I ever had. And put your order in with Levine, and you'll get the best cupcakes you ever had. Really, it was impressive.
They looked nice today, and they tasted great.
Oh, they was, yeah, they
You
was
had it
definitely.
on your face, your nose.
Yeah.
I heard it was in your ear.
Oh, it was so hot today, the icing start melting on me. Next thing I'm eating it, and it's in my nose and up in my eyes and in my ears, and ended up the icing. It was.
I don't know how it happened, but it was great.
Oh man, I almost bit my fingers off trying to eat it.
I thought that was blood, but it was 2 boxing gloves on that one.
Yeah, that was a nice design. The boxing gloves, and then had my name, Skeet Service Station, wrote on them. Pretty cool. Yeah.
That I was glad I could stop out today.
Yeah, it's always an honor and a pleasure to have you out there, Alan.
Thank you.
And then you see my buddy Al and my other buddy Daryl was out there today.
I know.
And then they had the donuts from Bethel Bakery.
Big Al brought him there.
Big Al every Monday morning, stop in, coffee and donuts. And then we had it.
Now work on your car, your lawnmower. I think you even worked on Frank Fabus's lawnmower.
Yeah, we fixed that lawnmower up for Frank. How's it running, Frank?
It runs great.
All right, man. Glad to hear it.
We'll buy a new one for another 2 years.
All right, sounds good. Yes.
It's
Then we had the buffet today. I had a boy from Washington stop in, Nate Bramasco. He's a fighter of mine at the Bronson House. Him and his mom, Kim Harding, stopped in. I worked on their car, and I had him at the buffet, and we had the pig's feet today.
No way.
Yeah, he had the pig's feet.
Smoking Jim loves that.
Oh, you got to come out, Smoking Jim. And then
Crazy.
and the anchovies. We had some anchovies today down there. All you can eat, though. It's pretty good buffet.
Collard greens.
Yeah, there you go. We'll just keep adding to. We'll add to that buffet.
It's expandable.
Yes, it is.
All right, let's get into some boxing here.
Okay, boxing. Let's talk about this Friday night. There's fights down at Wheeling Island. And Jason Bergman's fighting this weekend.
The Iron Man.
Iron Man's back in action, yeah. Iron Man Nation lives again. The 29th down there, and he's fighting a guy named Arthur Sabetkin. And the kid's a pretty tough kid. Should be a good fight. And Iron Man's been away training for about the last month up in Montreal, sparring and getting ready for the fight.
Nice picks.
Yeah, he's looking good, and he's fit and trim, and he's ready to go. And we're hoping for a knockout down there. But if you get a chance, come down to Wheeling Island. And then you got another heavyweight down there fighting, Travis the Terror Clark. He's fighting for the belt. He's fighting a kid, Keith No Hold Bars. So that should be an interesting fight. Then we had fights here last Saturday night, or it was the last Friday. Matt Conway fought the Sweet Child. Yeah, was you at that one?
No.
No, yeah. Close fight. I thought Matt won. I'll tell you what, Matt. Yeah, you were down there. Yeah, Rivers Casino. Yeah, okay. So, like I say, what you think?
Sitting on the other side there by the river.
Yeah, that was the corner we was in by the river. Yeah, pretty nice out there. They had the boats in the river and people watching. Pretty packed. It was, yeah. But no, Matt, I think kind of got robbed on that fight there. He looked like he won most of the rounds, but when the judges' cards come in, it was a decision or a draw. Yeah, it was a draw. And what do? Life goes on, and just get back and train harder and get meaner and be ready for the next fight he's got coming up here. I think he might be fighting in maybe end of August, beginning of September.
I think at Wheeling.
Yeah, down in Wheeling. Yep, Wheeling, West Virginia.
That's good. Then what about fights this past weekend?
Oh, they had the fights at Lawrenceville at the Teamster Temple down there, and Scott Perhash fought out of the Bronson House Boxing Club.
I heard he had a good fight.
Yeah, he looked good. This kid he fought, I can't remember the boy's name, but the kid beat him about 2 years ago. He beat Scott on a decision, and then Scott come back and beat him on this last fight here, beat him up pretty good, and had him hurt there in the second round. I think he had him hurt pretty good.
No, that's
good. Yeah.
Then who else do we got fighting? Who else do we got?
Man, I'm trying to think.
Bring the cheat sheet.
No, I forgot the paper. I said, man, I'm going to remember everything today. Wouldn't you know, I get up here and I forget.
Stumped you.
Yeah, but who else we got fighting this weekend?
I don't know. Well,
Well, there's fights in Sharpsburg. I know Rick was up here talking about the fights, that the Cuban fights on the bridge. But we're also having a fights the 30th out in Sharpsburg. A bunch of local kids fighting. We got Perhash fighting again.
Okay.
We got Chris Woods, Wicked Woods, out of the Bronson House, 185-pounder. He's fighting. And Jordan Cummins, Jimmy Conway, the Diesel, he's fighting Mr. Shook. Him and Mike Shook's fighting this weekend, this Saturday night. Heavyweight, yeah, main event. So that should be an interesting fight.
Jim will be a little busy Saturday night.
You're not going to be there, Jim.
I have to tiptoe off the bridge and see that.
Oh, that should be an interesting, yeah.
Announcing the fights.
Man, well, good. Congratulations on that, yeah. Yeah, that's big. Yeah, the Cuban show's pretty big for the local kids. But like I said, we got our own show out in Sharpsburg, and it should go pretty well out there, yeah. And we're hoping for a good turnout and see what happens. But like I say, the Shook fight should be the fight of the night there. Shook and Jordan, that should be a good one.
And I just met him today.
Who's that? Jordan. Yeah, he was in the shop there, yeah. The Diesel, 205, yeah. And like I said, yeah, I think Mr. Shook's about 250, so we're giving away a couple pounds, but that's all right.
And some inches.
Oh, yeah. Shook's a big kid. What, 6'8"? 6'8", yeah. So we're giving up the height and the weight.
You heard it here first.
Yes, that's for sure. And hey, there's a kid that fought there Saturday night in Lawrenceville, Rich Catalina. I'll tell you what, this kid's really come along nice. He's really coming into his own, tough kid.
Gave up the MMA. And
okay.
all the boxing.
I didn't realize he was into the MMA. Okay, yeah, but no, he's really come along good as a fighter. And Matt Leshock and Chris Williams are doing a real fine job with him, and he's come along real good, looking real good. Yeah,
How's
nice.
That Bronson House?
Bronson House is coming along. I'll tell you what, it's coming along, and
we enjoyed the boxing matches. There.
Well, I'm glad. Yeah, how was that night up there? I mean, that was the first time in 30 years they had the fights at the Bronson House, and
We're honored to be there.
Yeah. Well, thank you, and thank you guys for coming. And I think we're going to have another show there around end of September. We're going to have another show. Try to get you boys back on up there, help us out. Yeah. And we had a nice crowd, nice turnout up that night up there.
Yeah.
And
it was very nice.
Yeah, then we had the two girls fight. We had Alexa Muslin and Sarah Miller time. That was the first time two women ever fought up here at the Bronson House like that, huh?
The same gym.
And out of the same gym, yeah. Yeah, we was trying to match them two girls with two other girls, but that kind of fell through. So they had to fight each other. You don't like when that happens. They got to fight each other out of the same gym, but hey, that's how the fight. That's how boxing is. Yeah.
No doubt.
Yeah.
What are you up to in boxing?
Well, me, I'll probably be doing some refereeing and some definitely coaching this weekend, and I'll be coaching in the Ironman's corner. Be corner man, yeah. Me and Jack Conway, Jack Conway, he's the boss, and like I said, I just the second there, and we got a good thing going there. Ironman's looking good. On, we got Mark Daly. He just fought here. I'm thinking about maybe, a month ago? He fought out in Lawrenceville. Was you boys there for that show? Yeah.
We missed that.
Actually, he stopped his kid after the second round. In the third round, the boy didn't even want to come out. Mark dropped him 3 times, and Mark's looking real good. He's coming along good. Yeah, that was his first win as a professional, yeah. Then we got Mike Conway. He's turning pro. Iron Mike Conway. And we got Calvin Smith, he's turning pro. Yeah, he got his yeah, he's good, and he's all excited about it. And he just got his federal ID number and all his paperwork back, so he's actually ready. We're going to fight him probably next month.
Wow, you got some good stuff.
Yeah, and then like I said, hopefully in the future here we get Perhash. He's going to turn pro. That's a game plan to turn him pro too. Yeah.
Soon.
Yeah. Well, maybe. At the end of the year, we'll see what happens. But he's coming along real nice, though. Yeah.
That's nice boxer.
Yeah, good. Thanks. Yeah, he listens good, and things are going pretty good at the Bronson House up there, and just keep doing what we do up there.
That's a nice
grind away.
facility.
Yeah. Thanks. Yeah. Thanks a lot. That's pretty good.
Hey, you want to tell me about your daughter? What she just did this?
Oh, my daughter. Yeah, Elizabeth.
Story today, and I got to share it on air tonight.
Yeah, what happened was, I missed the fights last week at the Lawrenceville about Perhash and Catalina, but I heard about them. But I went to an ice skating charity thing my daughter did for the Mount Lebanon ice skating rink here, and she told me we went out there, and usually before she ice skates, I know the number, like the song she's on and what she's going to skate to. Yeah. She wouldn't tell me, and then told me about, I asked her what kind of clothes her dress was going to be, and she didn't say much about it. So I didn't think much about it until the night of the ice skating competition there.
And this was in Mount Lebanon?
Mount Lebanon, yeah, right by the high school, the recreation center. And then she come out to the music Rocky, Eye the Tiger, one of my favorite songs, yeah. And she come out in like a boxing trunks and a boxing shirt with boxing gloves on, and did her ice skating performance with boxing gloves on. I mean, that was really something unique, something you don't see much in an ice skating rink, is somebody with boxing gloves. Yeah.
I've seen it, and I got to see it.
Yeah, you've seen it. It's on Facebook. I got up on Facebook, and no, I was really impressed.
Thanks for sharing it. That was
hey, thank you. Yeah, thanks. And like I said, she got a lot of time and a lot of dedication in ice skating, and it's like her passion. And she's even helping teaching the kids now. She's works there and helps with the little kid. Yeah, for the ice skating. Yeah, she loves the ice for sure. Yeah, Elizabeth. Yeah, Lisa.
Like daughter.
Yeah, right. Because I always tried to get her into boxing, but it didn't. That boxing didn't take it. No, it sure didn't. No.
Took on the ice though. She those gloves around.
Wow, I'll tell you what, there was something to see. It was really a special moment there. She had my eyes watering. I was in tears for a minute. It was something. It was
thanks for sharing that tonight with us.
Yeah. Thank you.
I was proud that you shared that with me today. That was awesome.
Yeah, good.
Definitely, it's good stuff.
It is. It's something. Yeah, kids are something. And my oldest daughter, Jessica Blazer, she's into horses. She's into horsing and riding. And then I got a granddaughter, Shelby.
Do you?
Yeah. So they take her out there too, and she's getting into the horses. So
nice.
Yeah, to keep the kids busy,
You got to. They're not going to box. They might as well skate.
Well,
they might as well be on a horse.
Horse, yeah. Whatever you like, your passion, whatever you want to do.
There you go.
Yeah, for sure.
One passionate guy.
About boxing, yeah, I love boxing, the fight game.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I want to thank you for coming out tonight, sharing some of your boxing and other stuff.
Hey, well, thank you, Alan. I sure appreciate everything. Thanks again, brother. Smoking Jim, my man. Yes, sir. Thank you. Right on. Yes, all right. I'll let you guys go. Sure.
I've shown an interest in making home movies. Me and some buddies would just grab a camera and you just start making these videos, and then you realize at some point that this isn't just a hobby anymore, it's something that you actually want to pursue, and there's this great facility right down the road, BPTV. A lot of people will try to do these productions on their own, and one of the things they don't have is the equipment, but right here is everything that you need in one nice little bundle. There's lights, cameras, reflectors, dollies, all kinds of little knickknacks, like anything that you'd want to use that you would need for a production, you have it right here. Like, it's all right here. You can make your own feature movie just with the stuff from this studio. Come meet Dave Cable, let him show you around, and I think you'll realize that this is something that you could fall into regardless of your level of expertise, whether you're a beginner or even if you're a more advanced learner. There's something here for everyone, and I feel that you just need to come through and just be a part of the experience and just watch and learn, and let Dave be your guide.
All right, we got about 10 minutes. We got about 10 minutes left. Smoking Jim's like a man of mystery, one of the busiest men in the media. I just like to interview him for the next 10 minutes here and see what he's got. Well, you got a bridge coming up here with Cuba.
Yeah, thanks, Al Levine, the Talking Machine. Really appreciate the opportunity. Most people don't realize what a great opportunity it is to bring the Cuban fighters here.
It's historic.
Historic. They got more gold medals than any other country. Baseball and boxing is what they live for over in that country. And now that I guess trades has opened up with the Cuban government, now they're bringing over 11 of their best fighters. I am so honored to be able to be the color analyst on the TV side, and it's going to be on the Roberto Clemente Bridge. And so I can't wait. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot of fun for you.
Yeah, it's a big honor. A bigger honor would be if I had my main man to my right with me. You know, I enjoy.
I didn't get a phone call.
I enjoy bringing fights with him, but a lot of times everybody thinks everywhere I am or Al is, we're together, but a lot of times he's working on one side of the state and I'm working on the other side of the state.
Oh, come on, man. It'll be on the other side of the bridge.
Yeah, so
if I could even get there. They sold 2,500 tickets.
Yeah, in about 20 minutes time, it's free to the public, but you got to have a ticket. And 2,500 tickets went within 20 minutes, so supposedly it's sold out.
Yeah, we'll have to verify it that day. You can give me a count.
Yeah.
Yeah, we saw that banner too. That's our biggest fan, Bonnie. She's actually a big sports fan.
But, you know, the fighters here in Pittsburgh are underdogs. They're fighting an entire country that has a history of boxing. But one thing I always say about Pittsburgh people in general, they'll fight you anywhere, anytime, any place. So the fighters in Pittsburgh is going to put on a show, that's for sure.
No, that sounds great. Can't wait to hear or see it. What else do you got going on?
Well, I think that you and I will be at my favorite place in the entire state, the Meadows Casino on Saturday morning, Friday and Saturday.
Friday night.
Yeah.
Another free family fun night. That's one of your favorite nights.
Looking forward to it. Who would ever think that I would fall in love with harness racing and horses in general, but I can't get enough of the Meadows.
No.
Yeah, love it up there. It's like being on vacation, man.
Well, we'll get 2 days vacation this week for you.
Yeah, so that's great. And we were just up there this past weekend for MMA cage fighting. So,
what'd you think of the fights?
Well, I thought it was outstanding. I tell you what, I feel bad personally. I think that it's a barbaric sport. I can't believe that it's legal, but I'm in love with it and I wouldn't miss it for the world.
I know you were smiling all night.
Yeah, I tell you what, man, I love it. Can't get enough of it. Boxing, MMA, you know, those are outstanding sports and I love them both.
And that King of the Cage puts on quite a show.
Yeah, they sure do, and the ring car girls aren't bad.
You didn't put up those photos I took and gave you. What happened with that?
I'll put them up today. I kind of thought that you were going to put them up.
No, that's why I gave them to you.
Okay.
They're your picks. You always got to get photos with women, so I got them for you.
Yeah, I appreciate that. The one thing I always say, no matter where you go in the world, there's not a whole lot to do in Pittsburgh, but Pittsburgh got the prettiest ladies on the planet.
Wow, Smoking King. You know just what to say.
I'm an honest man.
I don't hear anything. What'd you do now?
But, you know, my predictions early on, I predicted that the Penguins will win the Stanley Cup. I'm still predicting that the Pirates will win the World Series. And
who pushed that button?
You sure did. And I tell you what, I got heavy money already in Las Vegas on the Pittsburgh Steelers winning the Super Bowl.
Do you? Wow. You heard it from a gambler. If you don't gamble, don't start. If you listen to Smoking Jim, don't bet what he says. It doesn't happen all the time.
And a few local bookies that I've been ducking, I got money with them too.
Well, you did lose 6 houses last year, and you won 3 of them back at the end.
I may not make it off the bridge this weekend.
I'm a little worried there. We may have to cut that part out there. We don't want to know about you running.
No, I won't be running.
Okay, well, we got that clear. He used to be a great runner. Now he's just skipping around a lot. Well, what else do you see happening? What else is going on with you in the media there? You got all these shows you do. I can't keep track of them.
Yeah, I tell you what, we do a boxing show on Channel 21 called Pittsburgh Ring Talk with the head coach of Carnegie Mellon University, Claudio Relsano, who is in the Italian Hall of Fame.
That's nice. He's been a guest on our show, although not recently because he's too busy with you. What about this 1st and 10 with Smokin' Jim?
Yeah, before I say that, Claudio has had on the show Pazienza. He's had on the show Donnie Lalonde, and he hopes to have on the show next month Boom Boom Mancini. But the show I'm most excited about is 1st and 10 with Smokin' Jim and Jody. She got great legs. But beyond that, she is an outstanding interviewer. She's bringing on quality guests, and it's great to really watch somebody like Jody Velasquez and Alan Levine, the Talking Machine, two of the greatest interviewers I've ever met.
Wow, how'd I get in there? We were talking about you. Thank you, thank you.
We're brothers from another mother.
I know. I can't believe it's almost 5 years that I know you.
Only one of us uses spray tan.
I don't get that. They paint his on. That was pretty good. That's Bonnie, our biggest fan. Go ahead. We never let Mother Nature stop anybody from walking in front of the camera.
And I tell you what, the Al Levine Talking Machine Big Mouth Burger has always been good, but whoever the new cook is, it was great today. Big hand for the new cook with this Al Levine the Talking Machine Big Mouth Burger.
Delicious.
You got a little on your mustache. Okay, you got it off.
Oh, good. Thank you.
I didn't know if you wanted to use that Calmer Worthy tongue.
No.
No one got a tongue like that? Okay.
No. How about Chaka?
Yeah, he got the tongue too, yeah.
That's from the Jericho Martial Arts Academy.
Okay, I thought it was from the...
No, that's what they do there. You missed that a couple years ago.
I thought it was from the Zulu tribe.
No, you're off again. You got to get your facts straight, Smokin' Jim. Well, we're going to be wrapping this up. What's your closing remarks? Anything on the Steelers?
Well, Pittsburgh Steelers go to training camp this week. It's going to be great, getting ready. But I'm real excited. This is the most talent I've ever seen in high school football in southwestern Pennsylvania history. So look for a lot of Division I scholarships to come out of this area, and a lot of guys going into the NFL. And hopefully I'll see a lot of the high school guys when they get to college take some music appreciation class. Do you appreciate music? I sure do. You got an A.
I don't know where we even got that from. We're going to end this show. I can't believe where he led us to. He walked us right around the block, and I got to say goodnight and stay Joey strong.